Welcome everybody to another episode of Reincarnated as a Podcaster. We have our special guest again, Edgar. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
You know the voice.
Yeah.
And if you don't, this is Eddie.
Yeah.
Your host, Robert. And Forrest. With 2 R's.
Or one, I don't care. I think my author signature is with 1 R, so it's just easier.
It's the man who can't see the forest from the trees.
Oh no.
Except in the mirror.
Except yeah.
But what are we talking about?
Today we're talking about the best movie in the world. Because it's made so much goddamn money.
Which one is it?
Endgame.
Oh.
Titanic.
Titanic, obviously.
There's some Titanic scenes in this one.
There was a boat.
There was a boat. It sank.
It sank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they fucked.
I mean,
Yeah, probably.
There was a blonde kid.
Yeah, there was a blonde
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
He
is
almost drowned as well.
you almost.
So we're
the
obviously,
same movie.
so obviously we're talking about Avatar, right?
Yeah, The Last
Avatar
Airbender.
2.
The Last Airbender.
What did that come back?
The book 2, book 2, water.
No, book 1 is water.
No. Right.
Right.
He right.
But for this sake, it's book 2.
Book 1 is water.
This is where, Jake Sully wants to learn the ways of the water.
He wants to learn waterbending.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so he can.
Well, it's not that he wants to.
he has to.
He doesn't have to. He could just die.
Oh yeah.
He has to learn the ways of water, so
Or
he
he
can
could just go John Wick on the other people.
unite Pandora or become the Avatar.
Which is where I feel like it's gonna end. He's gonna pull out some fire bending.
That's the next movie.
No, it has to do Earth first.
Was
Not in
that
this one
Earth
because
the-
they're trying to be different, so they're gonna do fire next.
No, because
and
the
then
first one
Earth.
was air,
Yeah.
right.
because he learns how to ride the
yeah,
flying
yeah.
creatures.
Yeah, right.
And then this one's water.
Yeah.
So the next one has to be earth. And then the last one is fire, obviously.
But I think they're gonna make a whole movie just for air.
Oh, fuck.
Because I think there's 4 more after this one.
Four more?
It's supposed to be, it's supposed to be 5 movies, right?
I think.
I thought it was supposed to be 5.
What the fuck?
Because
That's 3
I
more.
saw there was like water, air, earth, and fire.
Are we gonna wait like 10 years for the next one too?
No, because
No,
he
I
already
think it's
filmed
like,
it.
yeah.
Oh, he already
He
filmed
filmed
it.
3 and 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, he broke even on this film,
Uh-huh.
and everything else is profit on the next one.
Yeah. Because they needed like $2 billion just to break even.
2 billion.
Yeah.
What did they make?
A lot.
Like $3 billion.
Almost, probably almost 3.
I'll look it up. Always.
A lot of money. A lot of fucking money.
A lot of fucking money. So Avatar, Way of Water. Okay, Edgar, you've seen this movie.
Yes.
Who's your favorite character?
Spider.
He's a bitch. Worst character.
I like him because he has a redemption arc.
Made $2 billion. What redemption arc?
At the end.
Useless character.
What was the redemption that he fucked over Sully by
saves
reviving
his
the bad,
dad.
Because
the
of
bad guy?
bro, because of him, the oldest son died.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. R.I.P. no
Spoilers.
I love how yesterday we're just gonna ask Edgar who's his favorite character is. Who's a spider? We're just gonna shit on him. He's the worst fucking character.
He's my favorite because he's human.
He's like, I relate.
You don't relate with the giant Smurfs?
No.
You mean Tarzan?
Okay. Oh, the best character was the whales.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
They were the best characters.
You're right.
This
You're right.
is my tier of best characters. Best character is the whale,
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one?
the main whale.
The outcast.
Yeah, the
The one
outcast.
that you see
God.
fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then second best is the youngest son.
Okay,
I
yeah.
forgot his name.
I don't remember.
The
Oh,
youngest,
yeah.
youngest one?
The
little
one
boy?
the one that
No, because that's not a son.
the
That's
one
a
that
chick.
has sex with the whale at the end.
Yeah.
And then from there is the other Avatar girl that can speak to water creatures.
Oh, the clone girl or whatever.
Yeah.
This is my third.
The one that fucks the world?
Yeah.
She's like the,
The
Virgin,
Lorax.
Yeah.
She's Virgin
She's-
Mary's son or
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah. She speaks for the sea creatures, the anemone in the water.
Yeah.
Fuck. And then Spider.
No,
And
Spider's the
Spider?
bottom.
You
Then
still,
Jake-
you keep
I would,
going,
I
you
would,
still-
I would take the villain over Spider.
I don't know, man. Like, I think the 3 worst characters are Spider, Jake Sully, and the villain. They're all just shitty.
Okay, if those are shitty, I think it's like the villain, then Spider, then Jake Sully. Even though it's like Jake Sully's movie, he doesn't have screen time.
Yeah.
But
He's also the worst.
yeah,
I feel like he was a
worst.
badass in the first movie, and then he's a bitch in the second
Well,
one.
now he has kids.
Yeah, but
He
he
has too
made his
many
kids
kids.
like he
But
fucks a
maybe-
lot.
He wants that tax money.
but maybe it's like the opposite, right? He has the kids, and then you become more of a badass because you have the kids.
He grew out his dress per kid.
I don't know. He kind of was like, "Oh, I have kids. I can't do anything."
Yeah.
I gotta protect them. Oh, they're all being captured 100 times.
I like.
Oh, so keep going.
I was gonna say I like because he's half human, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, you look at this spider. He's a stray cat. I'm like, whoa, dude.
Aren't you too?
She.
Oh god. But I blanked out. What I was gonna say. Oh, the thing that is so stupid to me was they would capture the kids.
Yeah.
Half a scene later, they would escape to be captured the same exact way. I'm like, just shoot the kids. Fuck them. What are you doing? I'm gonna trade with you if you come by. I'm like, nah, just shoot the kids. They'll come by for revenge.
Oh no.
It is like the Avatar. You know how Zuko many times he captures
Captures.
and, and he didn't let him go.
It's true. It's true. I thought there was not enough backstory on the glitchy girl, the seizure girl.
Oh
yeah,
He
yeah,
showed
yeah.
up out of nowhere. She showed up out of nowhere.
They're like, "Oh yeah, she just was
She's
pregnant."
She's like, we don't know who she is.
Yeah.
She's here. I'm like, all right, cool.
And she
Because
talks
her
to
mom was
everything.
pregnant in the tank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, "How did you get pregnant?"
Dude, how the main bad guy had a kid. I don't remember.
Yeah. What the? Well,
Because allegedly, I guess he had the
That's true.
kid before he went to Pandora.
Oh,
That could make sense.
That's why he didn't go back to Earth.
But the
'cause
kid
it-
was
Yeah.
the kid was in Pandora.
station with his dad,
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
Who
Station
he was
probably
like
his dad.
a baby.
Yeah.
But they couldn't send him over because
He's a
He was
a
too.
baby.
He was
Yeah.
too little to be sent in cryo.
Yeah.
So the
Oh,
kid's
yeah.
obviously born on Pandora.
See, they explained that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very
I
important
love.
stuff.
I love the stupid like the kids talking. They're like, I bet you was the other scientist that porked her. Look at those eyes. Those are sexy eyes. There's so- I don't know, man. There's like, oh,
There's so much to this movie for what 3.5 hours.
yeah.
That's the I watched. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie finally, and then I looked at the runtime, like 3 hours and 12 minutes. I'm like, what the?
Well, you didn't know it was
Yeah.
3 hours?
No, I thought it was like 2 something, like
No.
2:30, and it was like over 3 hours.
Yeah.
My favorite's like I can't wait to finally watch this. I put it in the background, like I always do to watch a movie, and like I finish my whatever. And we were talking about recording with you, and I'm like, Eddie, have you seen? He's like, no. I'm like, son of a bitch, I gotta watch it again.
Yeah.
Forrest, I feel like you watch all these movies multiple times.
I have to.
Yeah, because Eddie doesn't watch shit, so we're like, all right, we gotta watch this movie with Eddie.
Again. If it's good or bad.
I feel like even though it's 3 hours and some, I feel like they could have cut out all the parts where Spider was teaching his dad all
Oh,
the
yeah.
Avatar stuff.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was so
right,
much
you know?
they could have cut out.
Yeah.
I understand it's what's it called? Like a film, like
A sequel?
no, not sequel, but like it's to show off their animation style.
Wow.
Remember, every modern day James Cameron movie is a tech demo.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
That's what every
Because
movie
there'd
is.
be the scenes where you're like, oh, let's see the forest. We're going through the water. I'm like,
See, because you see,
move
Yeah.
on.
James Cameron has two loves. It is water, like deep sea stuff, and tech. And it just so happens that a movie lets him do both.
The one
So
thing
that's
he's not
what he
good
does.
at is writing.
No.
Well, because that's the thing, right? Because it's just meant to be a vehicle. So he writes the simplest story possible with the simplest archetypes because it allows him to do what he wants to do, which is scuba dive and shoot things with fancy cameras.
I feel like story wise, so not very. The second movie is not very strong story wise, but I feel like I can't judge it until I see all of them.
Yeah.
It's like maybe this is just the middle part, t's like a bridge into whatever's next.
I do feel that. That's
like a
fine.
filler episode.
Yeah.
We only have 3 more of those.
Yeah. That's another 9 hours.
Oh, good lord.
Probably closer to 11.
But before we go into hate review, you know,
Right, yeah, we
what
definitely
you
have
like? What you like about this movie?
I like the water.
I like the prettiness of the animation. It was
IGN
pretty.
7 out of 10. Too much water.
Too much water. I do like for all for everything that I'll give shit for these movies. I do like creature design.
Yes.
But that's just me being a person who enjoys interesting like sci-fi creations and stuff like that. So everything from like ship design to creature design to all that stuff is things I do enjoy about these films.
I didn't like the ship in this one at all.
The big
ass ship.
Yeah, I like the small, like the crab.
Oh, yeah, those were
thing,
dope.
The little fucking
The
little
sperm-
submarines.
The sperm torpedo.
Yeah, the sperm torpedoes.
I thought that was all cool. With the big ship, I was like, that's.
Well, it's the same as the other big ship, right?
Yeah, I guess that's the
it's
issue.
It's a big ship.
Yeah, it didn't look appealing compared to everything else.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Compared to the water.
Yeah, compared to that blue water, crisp.
Chris.
I like those like exoskeletons that the humans would wear.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah.
walking around and they're like, "Bitch, you using your robot hand to drink coffee?"
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah, dude. Would you?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Wait, did they have normal cups or were they big sips?
No, they were normal guys.
Yeah. So it had like a finger in it. but that's the thing. So like, as far as like creature design and set design and everything else, I mean, cool, perfect, right? I mean, and that's kind of the point of what this is, right? And then anytime like a person is on screen, I'm like, I don't need you. You could have made this like a National Geographic fucking documentary. I'd be set.
I felt very awkward every time I would see like the little spider scenes because it's just him in a green room.
With a bunch of people in blue suits, probably.
The sticks on their head with the fucking
with all the little pinpoints on them.
You know, I didn't even think of that until you just said that.
He's there all dreaded out.
maybe I was in Pandora. I
Because
was like,
you think about it. You think about it. You have a lone guy. Well, I mean, there's a couple others, right? Later. But from the beginning, it's a lone guy in an animated movie.
it's true.
Because everything is CG.
Edgar,
The
you
thing
know
is-
this is not real, right? Pandora is not real. I'm sorry.
Oh no. No, but I agree with Eddie. I like the creature designs. I liked how the different avatars had like different body parts.
Yeah. That's
I
cool.
like
That's
that.
Cool. That's cool.
Like he's got a weak ass tail.
Yeah.
I like how they're like, "Hey, look at you, fucking weirdo! You have 4 fingers."
And they're clowning on the other
Yeah.
He's like, you could be fast in the air, but we're in the water,
dude.
motherfucker.
Yeah, it's our turn.
Yeah.
It's like that one girl that had extra big eyes.
Oh, yeah. She got the anime eyes.
Yeah.
Anime eyes.
I also like how when they're training on the water creatures, they're like, oh, he's so shitty. It's his first try. He only flew like a mile distance. What a dumbass.
They're clowning on them so hard.
Like, God, this guy's his first try. Give him a break at least. Holy shit. Fucking
The
assholes.
thing that's always funny to me is like, other than maybe like the 6-legged horses, every creature they ride is a carnivore.
Yeah. It's like that other movie we just watched.
What about the whales?
Well, carnivores.
They're also
They're carnivores.
Oh, I was like,
Did you not see them like vacuum a bunch of fish?
Oh, I guess.
Because the one day they just opened its mouth and a whole school of fish was like, "Gloop."
That's true. That's true.
They don't actually eat them. They just go in
and then
there
he
to
fucked up that shark thing.
That's right.
I don't remember.
Well, it didn't eat it though. It just killed
No,
it.
it just fucked it
Oh,
up.
kill
just
it?
kidding.
Or
I
trying
do
to save
remember
the
now.
kid.
Yeah.
That real good CGI.
Ooh,
I don't-
that's the only part I didn't like of the CG is that shark.
Biting
Well, there's a
through.
couple
Yeah.
things. There's weird things, and I think
I
this
don't-
is
that
I
might have
think
been
this
where
is-
we were watching
I think
it,
that's where we
so-
were watching it. But for some reason, because everything in a movie is filmed at 24 FPS, right? Because that's the gold standard for film. But for some reason, it almost felt like the movie was transcribed into 30, but all the animations were still in 24.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was like this weird, like it felt like smooth but almost choppy. Like for me, the best example is almost like if you're looking at stop motion.
Yeah.
Because where you could tell it's like a little
Yeah.
kind of choppy with its animations, but it's
Yeah.
still kind of smooth.
You watching the theater?
Yes.
And maybe
That's what I
it's
said.
different.
It
And
might have been where we
maybe it's a
watched it.
different
Fuck
of
that.
like what it looks like in an LCD screen compared to like a projector. And there's a bunch of tech things in
Yeah.
there, right? That might change what this looks
Where we're
like.
from streaming from.
But that was
Yeah.
that was always like a weird thing to me, especially because the movie is 90% animated.
what?
Yeah.
What?
So
Well, there's one person, two maybe.
so when you're seeing the characters interact in these worlds, they don't feel like they're in the same space sometimes, which weirded me out a little. But then again, that could be just how we saw it. That could be a lot of other different things, but it
Well,
did weird me out a little
Like
bit.
Forrest said, Pandora's not real.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry to tell you too. I know you didn't know either. Do you know?
What?
Oh my god. Maybe
No, but I
Israel.
could see that. I could see how some of the elements weren't tying in with the rest of them.
I said that's just hard to tell since we didn't watch on the big screen.
Yeah, because that's the
Yeah.
only instance where I thought like the animation was kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because that scene was really
Yeah,
choppy, in my
that scene
opinion.
was.
I
Yeah.
gotta
It-
watch it again.
It's just that specific part where the shark it's in the rock.
Yeah, it's biting
Yeah.
through the rock.
It's
too.
that scene. You're like, what? It looks so shitty.
And like
and that's it.
the weird thing with the creatures, right, is like when they're up close, sometimes the textures look weird, especially in that one in particular because the movement's so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the texture of the creature looks more like the polygons of a 3D model than the texture of a creature.
Yeah. Was it
Is-
fully rezzed,
Yeah, like it wasn't fully.
rendered?
But I did like all the character design.
Yes.
Of all the blue people.
I did kind of like obviously the references to like Maori culture and
Yeah,
all that stuff
yeah.
amongst the
Yeah.
Tribal tattoos.
yeah and all that stuff. That was cool. That I did enjoy that quite a bit.
Eddie loved the part when it was with the whale.
Which
When it
one?
references the book, instead of ripping his head off, ripped his
The
arm off.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. The fucking one
Eddie
dude.
slightly, Jesus, he's like, yeah, they're gonna do it.
he came.
Because I was like, is he gonna Moby Dick this guy? They are gonna Moby Dick this guy. Yeah. References.
Shit.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, I don't know if you know this, but because the whale kills the one dude, right, with the harpoon.
Yeah.
In the same way Moby Dick kills Captain Ahab in Moby Dick.
With the cable.
Yeah.
Similar,
Except it's a
yeah.
rope instead of a cable.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah, but it's the same
He
thing.
dies of a heart attack from eating too much pizza.
Dude, what
different way.
what threw me off was the reincarnation of the bad guy
yeah.
into an avatar body. I was like, oh, that was not expected.
I was like, wow, we can't get rid of this motherfucker.
He's got to join the enemy.
Don't worry, there's gonna be 4 more episodes with him. in it.
No.
He'll get a redeeming arc. maybe in 2.
Oh no, he's still alive, right?
He's still
'Cause
alive,
I
yeah.
thought for a second they let him die, but no. But they set the precedent that he's already like a clone, right? So I was joking with Forrest, this is going to turn into the Matrix. Where at the end of it, it's going to be Jake Sully versus 50 of these dudes.
Oh, no. It's possible.
Instead of
Hello,
Mr. Anderson, it's like
Mr.
Mr. Jake Sully,
His name is so bad.
Mr.
I hate
Sully.
it.
Mr. Turok Makto, or what the fuck is it?
Turok Makto.
See, that's at least I hate Jake Sully as a name. I don't know why. Every time I hear it, it's just like disgusting in my head. And I also picture that's just his last name. It's just a combined.
Jake Sully's the whole thing.
What did you guys think about when the clone saw himself dead in that thing?
It was trippy.
Oh, that shit was awesome.
I did like that. I don't mind the villain. I don't mind the actor.
No,
I mean, he's kind of
there's some-
typecast into this, but
Some parts that he was just weird. Like, what scene was it?
All of them.
Where it felt very like, he's like, yeah, we're going to do that.
Well, it's like it's at first when he wakes up and he's like start throwing punches, right? He's like, no, Carl or whatever. He saw this. He's like, what?
Yeah.
And then he looks at himself in the mirror and he's like, I got fucking fangs now. Cool.
It's like,
I'm a blue dude.
Blue dude. Ain't that a bitch?
then he looked down, he's like, where'd it go?
The other scene that threw me off is like when they're like, oh, where's his base of operations? And they're like, it's somewhere in these mountains.
Yeah.
And they're like, we take casualties every time we go there. But since you're blue people, maybe it'll
that's the
work
scene,
out
yeah.
this time. And he's like, or how are we going to test that? And she's like,
The hard way.
the hard way. And he's like,
Yeah, that's the scene of-
and I was like, what the
Thanks,
yeah?
so I'm
What the
like,
fuck?
that's a bad touch face. I did like him as a villain, though.
He's fine.
He's also got a good voice for it.
Yeah.
It's very soldiery.
Yeah.
I do appreciate how his blue avatar looks like the human
Like the
version.
white-
Yeah. I do appreciate that.
They
Well,
just
that's the
painted
point,
it.
right? They're all supposed to kind of look like what they were.
I kind of wanted, what's her name? Jake Sully's wife, I guess, to have more screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she had a whole 2 minutes screen time.
Yeah, of her just
Yeah.
screaming as she's shooting people
Shooting
to
at-
death.
I see John Wick's people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then crying because her kid died.
Yeah.
That scene makes no sense. No, the crying scene does. But when she starts, why is she crying? What a
How
bitch.
dare she? Feelings.
No, when she starts to John Wick people and they save all their kids and they're like, I'm gonna kill Spider. He's like, I don't fucking give a shit.
Son for son. He's like, whoa.
The first time I watched it, because I'm not fully paying attention, and she just grabs Spider. I'm like, wasn't she your friend? What the fuck's going on here?
I was also working while watching, and that happened. Like, hey, wait, what the?
No,
Yeah,
she-
whatever.
I was like, she too realizes that Spider is a liability. she too is like, this is worst character.
In my mind, it's like in my mind, there was like, if someone breaks into the house and it's like, I'm gonna shoot you, and I grab a knife to Bob's neck, I'm gonna kill him first. I was like, what? And then I realized, I'm like, oh, that's his kid. That makes more sense.
I think for me, I wanted more development between Spider and his dad
They tried.
to justify Spider
The
at
end.
the end to
Yeah.
saving him.
They tried for 2 hours.
Yeah, but I wanted
wasn't-
more.
The issue is, it felt like it would be like, look, they're having father-son time. And now let's just cut that away really quick. We throw that in the garbage
Yeah,
can, and here is now new world.
Because I feel like him saving his dad is an event that would be better served in a future film than at the end of this one.
Yeah, I think they needed more repertoire between them. You know.
Yeah. It's weird to say it's a 3.5 hour movie. There wasn't enough time to get emotional for.
It was an entertaining movie, but I feel it was just like there's this arc and then this other arc and this other arc, and I don't know if they kind of, to me, didn't kind of blend together.
It's not very cohesive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you have the first chunk of the movie, which is, we're rebels and we're doing this thing and all, but now we gotta fucking leave because super marine guy is now blue.
Yeah.
But
And he's
it's
hunting us
just
down.
the family, like
Yeah.
the rest of the
What
tribe.
happens to everybody else?
Yeah, I was like,
Are they just fucked? Are they just stuck there?
Yeah.
They got flamed.
I had to watch that
You
scene
know.
many times. I was like, wait, what the fuck happened? I thought it was just the ship landing and then it burned everything.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh no, they sent this like missile shit to burn everything so they could build on top of it. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
makes sense now.
It's like real life.
Yeah.
There were too many stories or characters they were trying to give a story to. And
Yeah.
it just felt
Yeah.
way too.
Well, you got to think about it. So you had, to me, it was the son and the father, and then you had Jake Sully and his two sons, Jake Sully
the
and his
other son and
daughters,
and the father.
the daughters and the world, the son and the girl,
yeah.
the girl and the mother.
Moby Dick.
We have Moby Dick.
got Moby
There's so
Dick.
many people trying to interact with each other constantly, and they broke away from it being streamlined. It was
Yeah.
very like, oh, we're gonna give you a little here, a little here. I'm like, just give me a big breadcrumb,
Yeah.
and then here a big one.
I feel like maybe it would have been better as a TV show.
Yeah.
High budget TV.
Super high budget TV. Probably would have been better than Lord of the Rings.
But the problem is
It's not hard.
you have a man that's a theater purist.
yeah.
So the only way he would ever make this is as films.
The fight scenes were cool.
Oh yeah.
Fight scenes
Yeah.
were cool.
I mean, you can say that about a lot of films that are, I guess you could say, subpar.
No, the scene that got me was when they killed the fucking whale mom.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck that scene.
Yeah.
Fuck the humans.
You know, it's funny. My mom was like, I could care less when the son died, but when they killed the whale,
I was like-
she was like, I lost it. I was like,
See, I was the opposite. I'm like, I would probably kill the whale to live forever. Dude, you get some good goo out of that. It seems pretty good.
at least eat it. Fuck.
That dude had a good point. He was like,
Oh, yeah.
you killed it just for this? I'm like, yeah, sink it.
well,
Second blow it up.
the thing is, it has real life parallels, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, if you look at the whole whaling industry as it was, that's what it is. I mean, obviously, it doesn't give you immortality, but whale oil was a really big commodity
Yeah.
for a long time.
You sure it doesn't give you mortality?
Have you tried drinking it?
No, but I mean, there's a lot of people from that time are dead, so
Maybe they didn't drink it.
They live for quite a bit. You know.
You had to put it up your butt.
They lived till they were 40.
That's crazy.
that's the thing, and there is the parallels to the real life, like whale industry and all that stuff in there.
Well,
Because that's always
Even then, or even now, they still do
Yeah.
stuff like that where they'll kill for certain parts of an animal and then just go, just eat it back in the water.
Like,
Yeah.
like
Some
sharks.
animal will eat it. Yeah.
yeah,
Or like the bison in North America.
Oh yeah, when they almost ran into extinction just because they wanted its tongue
Yeah.
Or when they fuck over the rhinos and elephants and
Yeah.
shit.
for tusks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously it's a thing that happens.
Humans
Like,
are
yeah,
you know,
the
you know,
avatars.
you know what's always funny to me when you think about like how this story goes and where it's probably going to progress to? It's the idea of like you find this world that has like it's almost as if you were to think about every single like crazy mythological thing that you can think of in the past actually existing in a place, and it exists in this world. Because like the whole first movie, we have unobtainium, like unobtainium is here, right? Which is the super metal, happens to be here.
Is that why they're there?
Yeah.
Just to mine for it?
Uh-huh. And then the second one, oh hey, it just so happens that these intelligent whales have the elixir of life.
Well, when they landed and they created that city in like a year or whatever, the one lady is like, "Oh, we're here. I'm in charge to replace our Earth with Pandora
Yeah.
because this is it's like pretty similar to Earth.
1 to
blah,
1
blah.
almost. They just need
Yeah,
better
we can live
oxygen.
here, but we gotta control the locals.
It's like real life.
and obviously, there's the super obvious parallel of the conquering of the new world
Yeah.
and all of the resources that were there and everything, and then we have to move out of our super crowded Europe over to this empty place.
What do you think
But
the next
locals-
one's going to
Yeah.
be with fire?
Locals. They're gonna. burn
That's
the
what I
whole
was
forest.
wondering. Are they gonna have to run again from the water tribe?
Oh, yeah,
and then go-
probably.
No,
Then-
I think it's more that because at the end of this movie, I feel like Jake Sully's like, I'm done being a bitch. So it's
Guns blazing.
yeah, so it's wartime, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like instead of more of it, they're running away. It's more like
They're
I
rallying
gotta
the
see
troops.
what are the different tribes of this world
And unify 'em.
and unify them to
Like the Avatar.
try to fuck up these
Yeah.
It's
people.
the Avatar. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Avatar.
Because
That's why it's named after it.
that's how it ended. Because they're like, oh, we gotta go find somewhere else to live because we don't want to cause you any more problems
And they're
or
like,
whatever.
no, you stay here.
You're part of us now. You're part of the way of the water.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is the movie title.
Yeah, they said it a couple times.
Yeah, and then he's like, you right. We're part of you. That means, we gotta
gonna fight
we gotta
back.
protect our home now.
Woohoo!
Yep.
We're back.
We're back.
Okay. So
You want me to clap?
my
Yeah, you can clap.
yeah.
We won't do anything, but
My thought process that I had there, right? So obviously, there's a lot of similarities in the first movie with a lot of like North American tribes, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's big. And now this one's obviously is a lot of like South Pacific, like
Yeah,
Maori stuff, because it makes sense because islands, right? So what do you do for fire? Like, because if we're all going off of natives of
Volcanoes.
certain areas,
you do like
The
Hawaii.
the humans are starting to dig for oil.
And that way they just light them on fire.
so is the desert, but that's more Earth.
That's Earth. It's got to
What
be
would you
something
do
with
fire?
volcanoes.
Well,
I think
Aztecs.
I think like
Mesoamerica.
Aztecs.
I don't know. Well, there's
No.
like in Hawaiian history, there's some.
The issue
where
is Hawaii is
they,
already
they
taken.
would they would burn their own forests if they were losing or whatever. So whoever would
We get nothing.
get
Yeah.
nothing. So, but I don't think that's the
But
case.
I feel like they're already tapping into what you would think of Polynesian culture anyway.
Yeah.
With all the water stuff, so I
That's
don't
the issue
think
with the
it
fire
would do
one.
it again.
like, what do you think is the symbolism of water? You just like kind of free flowing.
Yeah,
Fire to me is like
they're gonna be war people.
yeah.
They're gonna be
Well,
looking for the war tribe.
I picture they'd be making like steel
Volcano
or yeah. Well, that's what I said. I think it'd be
What are they
volcano.
gonna look like?
Red.
Like I feel like because you know how we have unobtainium, we have the elixir of life. I think it would be something to deal with forging or with like a power. Because
Oh, I
like
can
you
see
can
that.
run off of fire with power,
Geothermal.
geothermal stuff maybe. Yeah,
I'm thinking it's more like mountain people.
mountain.
And instead they're blue still, but they have like rock armor or some shit.
Damn it!
Maybe it's like I mean,
They have thick skin.
we think of like maybe Himalayan type peoples, but there's no
Maybe.
volcanoes there.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
not really
issue.
a fire. If fire is the, I mean
'Cause to me,
that's why I said
fire-
Mesoamerica, because I mean that whole middle part of what is that area is volcano.
Yeah,
Central.
the issue if I think fire, is more would have been what we had in this one. Would have been that type of people. That's what I think of fire right away.
What's the equivalent of the first movie to our natives?
I would say
Like North America.
northeastern
Yeah.
native.
Like
Think like Iroquois. Think that because that's where first contact. Well, technically, first contact was made in Mesoamerica.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, but
Yes,
if you
yes.
think about first contact as far as the rest of
Columbus
Europe
and-
is concerned, not Spain,
Yeah.
it would have been that top area of the U.S.
I think first contact was technically like super north, like Maine, but that's like you're going like Viking.
No,
like
northern,
northern,
obviously,
uh,
Leif Erikson stuff, right?
yeah.
But if like European major contact, at least as far as colonialization, Spain was obviously first
Yep.
to the lower parts. But I feel like that's not what they were trying to reference in there anyway, because even like the philosophies and everything resound more with upper natives of North America, like far North America natives than anything else.
So they're gonna touch like into desert natives or more into.
I think if they do
live
desert,
more in the rainforest by volcanoes and shit.
that could be interesting to do like a rainforest. But I would think, like you said, desert. I think would be Earth.
You said Aztec because of their war.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. So it's a bunch of different things. So obviously, I mean, volcanoes are part of Aztec culture. Obviously, what's it called? Isla Cihuatl and Popocatépetl is part of like that the Mexico City basin, and so volcanoes are a big part of that. And then obviously because they were super warmongers, so
And like, we gotta look for the hostile locals.
yeah, I mean, and if you look at like Native American culture, there's probably a few cultures you can think of that. You look at like the Apaches and stuff like that as well. But I feel like Aztec's probably your best bet.
I think so too.
And I think that would probably be the better way to go. And then you just have fiery stuff, and it'd make a lot of sense.
Do you think the bad guy is gonna continue to be a bad guy, or is gonna have like a redemption arc because he now understands what it's like to be
I
a
think
blue person?
he's gonna be a bad guy,
I think he's going to double down.
and he's gonna die to give Spider a second chance.
He's
Fuck
gonna
the
double
name is
down.
that?
Yeah.
For what?
Look at the name of the volcano.
Is that in...
Probably Norway or something. It's
Oh, it's the Iceland one.
yeah.
Holy moly!
Yeah, it's the Iceland
I
one.
looked up famous volcanoes to kind of see what they would give us, and it's like Venus and Helen's, Lola. It's the places where I thought like stuff like this
Yeah.
is the most, and then you get a lot Northern America, Fuji.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like that would be probably the way to go, because in my head, that makes sense for the
Yeah.
theme of fire.
Maybe I can see it, but I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna go.
I don't know what they're going to base their references on.
But are they only doing America stuff, like based on America? Or
No,
are they gonna base on the
I do
world?
think, no, because obviously Southern Pacific is not.
Yeah, because I think there's
US,
probably
right?
more stuff. Out
And technically,
there.
yeah, and
well,
and
even Southern Pacific.
even I think the biggest influence was Maori culture anyway, which is
Yeah.
New Zealand,
Yeah.
which is all the way over there. So I don't.
You can do Japan.
You could, yeah. I just don't know. Well, I don't know native cultures there very
Yeah.
much, so that's a little harder.
Well, that.
Um,
well, yeah. That's what I'm trying to think of. Like,
because-
where are the most popular volcanoes? Because obviously, you know a lot about the South America.
Yeah.
But you got to think about the rest of the world. What's
Well,
more,
because the theme of I think what Avatar is, the idea in my head, it's not necessarily just American itself,
Well, yeah.
but it's places where colonizers went.
yeah,
And like in your case in Japan, I don't think that's the case at all.
yeah.
Inca.
They don't really have volcanoes in that southern area though, or they're not famous for it. For like I mean, like I said, you could group the South Central American, tribes. And
Well,
stuff
that's what they
together,
would do.
Which
they would group just everything.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like, oh, this is one.
But I
thing.
feel like
Just
if they did, South America is usually thrown to the wayside in favor of Mesoamerica instead, which I see them doing more
I can
than
see
going
it.
further south. The only other things I can think of, I mean, obviously, if it was Earth, it'd be different. I would think of like African like
Yeah, yeah.
roots.
That's
and
where
stuff,
I would go
because that would
for
be the next one.
Earth.
But other than that, because it's so hard thinking of what fire would be
Fire to me, that's the only thing I
on
can
like
think of.
like a group of people being colonized scale.
Or even if colonizing, I can't think of fire. Where do you think of fire? Fire to me is forging.
Yeah.
I think of like
Destruction.
Vikings.
You think of Vikings with fire?
no.
Because they forged weapons.
I mean, they
Which
did,
makes
but all of
sense.
Europe did.
But I think that is ice almost.
Because like
Yeah.
Rome did as well.
but
I mean,
I
it's
also
not.
think of like Aztecs and sacrificing.
Yeah,
and
sacrificing the volcano. Like it's just the imagery you have in your head of something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean those are beliefs they held as well. The human
Well,
sacrifices.
what if it's
stop
not
volcanoes from going.
what the people do with fire, but like what fire symbolizes? I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, then it'd
No,
be war and anger.
that's
and
what-
stuff
yeah.
is what I'm thinking.
So just
Which
like
means
that's how
works for
that's
me.
how they set up the end because they're
But
like
if they do war and anger, it could be anywhere. Legit
It
anywhere.
could. It could.
There's
It
so
could.
much war and
Yeah.
fucking thing that you just if you get rid of America, there's billions
Oh, of
of
course,
things
of course,
that
of
way.
course.
So
Because I do agree with your theory of like I think Jake Sully is gonna try to unite all the other tribes to strike back on the
the
sky
people.
people.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's where the next movie is gonna go into, just action packed.
I don't think
I don't
it'll-
think so.
I don't
Michael
think so.
Bay.
I think it's going to be similar, where it's going to be like them. It's the process
Yeah.
of unification.
It's gonna be
for
I
fourth
learn
movie
about
we
yeah.
blow shit up.
It's gonna be I learn about the fire people. We'll have big action scene at the end.
Yeah.
And then I feel like action scene's gonna push a little bit farther into, oh, if we can win this battle with these fire people, we won the last battle with the water people.
We can keep going.
We could win with everybody.
Yeah,
and then the last one will be just big end game type movie where everyone's just trying to fucking slap each other around.
yeah,
And
basically.
then someone dies in the water, they make out, and then
You think Jake Sully's gonna lose another kid?
well, easily,
Oh yeah,
easily.
maybe his wife at some point.
I do see that as well.
I thought she was going
Why?
to die
I
in
did-
this one,
Yeah.
but it was his son.
I was
Yeah.
thinking, what if he loses the little girl and then he goes ape shit?
can
I
see
think
that
she's
too.
going to be a savior in a way.
Little kid.
No,
No,
the
the
other
girl.
one. The other girl is the Avatar. That's what she is, just straight
she,
up.
She speaks for nature.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she's-
she's straight up
she's-
the Avatar.
Was it Awa?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised what would happen actually in these next
AWOL.
films is if certain ones actually stay in the location. So like she stays in the water
Yeah.
one, and then maybe fucking the
I-
little kid is like God tier with fire, and he controls.
I don't
the
think.
fire spirit.
I think
I don't know.
the way they're setting things up, her affinity is not with water. It's the soul of the planet.
Do you think she's going to be
AWOL.
the main character?
She's the
basically?
Lorax.
The issue is like if you're going to make her the main character, then make her the main character.
Yeah.
It's like,
don't-
oh look, she has all these powers. Okay, let's go talk to Sully.
don't-
He's the main guy.
I don't think because the reason I don't think she's a main character is I don't believe that she's the type of personality to be a leader.
Yeah.
So she's a force of nature, but I don't think she can lead troops to battle.
Yeah, but
So-
the issue with it to me is it's like watching the Avatar
Yeah.
and having the main character be like fucking Korra or not Korra. So
Well,
the girl.
but if you're gonna take like Avatar as an example, right? I mean, the main characters are Aang,
Pacifist.
Sokka, and,
yeah.
yeah, and Katara, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's three people, so it's not unheard
I
of.
keep- I
But
think-
yeah, but this does not feel like
I think
it's
it
her
could go
movie.
into she speaks for the nature. She has that connection with the planet, and as the movies go along, she encounters more things of the planet to be friends with, I guess, until the humans go and blast it up, and then she goes ape shit.
She becomes a Scarlet Witch basically. It just says, fuck the world.
it's like those trees in Lord of the Rings. You're like, dude, we've been here forever, and then she's like, look at my friends, they're dead, and then they go into war.
yeah.
I can see that.
Dead.
Because like I love her character, I like the idea of it, but
Yeah.
they just make it seem like she's a nobody when she should be something.
Well, then again, it's the first movie they
Yeah.
introduced her,
Yeah.
so maybe the next.
She was asleep a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
the next 3-4 movies they can expand on her character.
You know what this teaches me. This conversation teaches me. It's like the world building for these movies aren't bad. Like the whole
Of course
overall-
not, yeah.
it's just fucking people.
It's not hard to world build when
Yeah.
you have a 3.5 hour movie,
Yeah,
and I'd
yeah.
argue 2.5 hours of it is world building, and the other hour and a half is film.
I like the world build and everything. I like the characters.
Yeah.
I like where the story's going. I just think there's just too many characters, too many side stories.
That's why I'm hoping some
It's
just drop off and
concise
stay.
it.
I-
Kill them all.
No,
That's what
Kill
I
the
thought. Kill the kids. Kill the kids.
I feel like the script is so clunky too.
Oh,
is
yeah.
my issue. Like you hear people talk, and you're like, this is movie speak. This is not people speak, and it's not good movie speak either.
Like, you don't speak like that when it's like, oh, how are we going to do it the hard way? Yeah. I speak like that all the time at work. I'm like, yeah, fuck my day. I love it.
But like, and that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like this movie is. And I mean, it's a certain archetype of film, I guess, which kind of does that, and it's clunky in that way. But it doesn't feel satisfying as some of older versions of that type of film do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Maybe it just took forever to get released,
Maybe.
and that's
Well,
why
it has definitely taken how many
the
years?
dialogue didn't.
Like 10 years?
Maybe more. 11.
Stood the
test of time.
test of time. Yeah.
Maybe. But I mean, even then, it's like there's dialogue from older films that feel better, you know?
Yeah.
Even in that same, genre of whatever's, right?
Pause 'cause I have to get the door.
No.
No, I think we'll finish real fast. Wait real fast.
Tell them to stand outside. We're going to talk. Okay, I guess final thoughts. Give us a rating too while you're at it.
He said 10 out of 10 off screen. I heard him.
I heard him. That was off screen.
Spider 10 out of 10.
That was off record. Yeah, Spider,
Best character.
best character still.
Okay.
The Whale, best character. Movie overall, I'd give it like a 4 or a 5.
4 out of 5?
No, 4 or a 5.
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
Okay.
Did you like the first movie better?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I could agree with that. For me, it was like, I mean, it is a 5 by world building, and then everything else I just don't care about. Brilliant tech demo.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Scuba diving skills.
Yeah, top
6.
tier.
6?
6.
I also give it a 5, though. I think world building and
Right in the
animation, beautiful. Story and
Mid.
characters, horrible.
I feel like it's too much.
Yep.
I think they're trying to do many things.
Too much dad bonding.
Yeah.
That's the whatever's. But yeah.
Not enough, Dad.
But anyway, thank you for watching. This is our, lovely episode with Edgar again, and
Sorry for the hate review.
hopefully next time we'll talk about a good movie. Yeah. See ya.
Peace. Okay.